10 reasons to move to London. Never mind the naysayers. London is great, and I will vote the city a million times as the best place to live in the world. But some people can go to any length to give you flimsy reasons not to move to London. Others will even advise you not to visit London at all. However, I can give you more than enough reasons to move to London, and that's what I'm about to do in this video. Among what they would point to are high cost of living, traffic congestion, accommodation cost, weather, and, let's forget, the fast pace of life, to discourage you from moving to London. Some even say London's dirty and polluted, as if they're turning a blind eye to the fact that those are inherent characteristics of any prosperous city. Acting on those reasons is tantamount to shutting oneself out of opportunities available to those living in London. Don't be discouraged. You're invited to first visit this world's leading commercial, financial, and cultural centre, where many international job seekers, merchants, and students go every year. Now, let me show you 10 reasons to move to London. 1. Multicultural City. This, to many, is the first reason to move to London. If you're looking for a city that can be truly described as a melting pot of cultures, move to London to feed your eyes and enrich your mind. The capital city of the UK is the most culturally diverse city I've seen. Oh my, let me say, one of them. Did you know that over 300 different languages are being spoken in London? Another interesting fact is that 1/3 of the residents were born overseas. Now, what do you think of the physical and intellectual composition of a city like that? You can expect nothing but an interesting variety of people of different exposures and backgrounds. What about authentic cuisines and food from all over the world that you'll get to savour? I'll tell you a little more about that later. 2. So much to do. Another reason to go to London is that you'll never ever run out of things to do because there's so much to do in the city. This is always the situation regardless of the time of year. And yes, summer can be great, but it doesn't have to be during summer before you find your hands full with a lot of interesting activities. Be it night or day, there's always something fun to see and do. Talk about those world-acclaimed attractions, Big Ben, the world-class craftsmanship displays such as the Tate Modern, spots such as cat cafes, and loads more. There's simply something for everybody, regardless of your interest and choice. 3. Higher wages compared to the rest of the UK. Do not scare us with this. I said it earlier. The cost of living is expensive in London. It's no secret. Living in London, the capital city of Great Britain, is expensive. So what? If London is maligned as one of the most expensive cities, it's because for the benefit of those making money there. The true situation is that in most cases, salaries in London are usually more than enough to cover those extra living expenses. If you have to pay higher in London for the service of a mechanical engineer, for instance, how would you feel if you were a mechanical engineer living where the same service is priced lower? Won't that give you a reason to move to London? Well, moving to London simply makes economic sense if you have the skill to be priced. The high cost is rather a pro of living in London. For the sake of analysis, the average monthly salary in London is between £2,814 and £3,100 after tax. Wages are considerably lower in other European cities. In Amsterdam, for instance, jobs that offer you a take-home of €2,900 are scarce. And in Barcelona and Budapest, the average net salaries after tax are €1,436 and €751 a month, respectively. 4. Great and free healthcare. Healthcare services is another one of the reasons to move to London. Sincerely speaking, London's healthcare is simply great and free. I make bold to say that London's health insurance ranks amongst the best in the world. If you have private health insurance, the service is even quicker. But you can still get a covetously good service from the public healthcare in London. Everyone working in London, either as part of employees, forced or self-employed, automatically become eligible for London health cover, provided you're making your social security contributions, and senior citizens get special health coverage. 5. The city is well connected by tube. When people complain about all those talks about spending too much time in traffic, they've forgotten the great alternative they have in the tube. This is another great way to travel to and from and around central London. The London Underground rail network, also known as the Tube, has for decades been a great option in the London transport system. The city is well connected by tube lines, 11 of them in total. The underground transport is divided into 9 zones, with central London being covered by Zone 1. The services are available, usually from 5 a.m. until midnight, and overnight on weekends. Interestingly, the tube fare depends on the distance, time of day, your mode of payment, all of which are still very affordable. If you want the cheapest pay for a single fare, you may consider contactless payments. This additional reason to move to London. 6. The city is safe. When you compare all crime rates in London to other cities in Europe, you'll realise that London is quite safe to live in. Regardless of how busy the city is, those living in London are, according to statistics from many sources, enjoying good physical and mental health. So far, those who are thinking about moving to London should also add safety to their reasons. 7. Public transport is great. We can't say too much about transportation in the London metropolis because it's just too great. The 11 underground lines alone cover 250 miles or 402 kilometres. The streets of London have become your oyster. Don't worry about the colours of those lines, that can be confusing for newcomers. You'll soon get used to navigating the tunnels under the city. The efficient transport system makes London the best connected city in the UK, and probably in the whole of Europe. This is because no matter where you're intending going in London, there's a train scheduled to take you there. These are well supported by buses and cabs taking you to interior parts of the city. What about air transport? Yes, there are 6 airports available for Londoners. Well, if you're beefing about London, I know you'd probably say only Heathrow and City are London's airports, but there are actually 6. 8. Tons of history and famous locations. I would recommend moving to London any day and time because of tons of history and famous locations there. Are you thinking about Big Ben, the clock in Elizabeth's Tower, which is the tallest tower in the Palace of Westminster? Living close to the clock that weighs an impressive 13 tons is what Londoners take for granted, while it's a must-see for tourists. Other historic and famous locations are the monuments to the Great Fire of London, Buckingham Palace, the National Gallery, Tower Bridge, the British Museum, the Imperial War Museum London, and Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, just to mention a few. 9. London's green spaces are relaxing and beautiful. Another one of the reasons to move to London is the relaxing and beautiful green spaces. Those parks and green spaces in London are crucial for exercise and mental well-being. The London City Corporation works hard in protecting 11,000 acres of green space in London, such as Beddington Park in the borough of Sutton, southwest London. Apart from the beautiful small garden squares scattered throughout the city centre, 8 royal parks are welcoming. 10. Food, glorious food. I earlier promised to get back to this because I love food, and here we are. The most popular dish in London and the entire UK is curry. The best of this in the world can be seen around Brick Lane in London. There's food everywhere you turn. You need to have an extra measure of self-control in London because there's so much to eat and drink, just as there is much music. You may be left wondering which one to choose since the food is incredibly plenty. Indians should be jealous of Brits because they're big fans of Indian cuisine over here. Can you imagine the volume of opportunities you'll be missing if you stay away from London, when, in fact, you have to visit London or actually move to London? If you believe you need and want more money, more exposure, more stability, and opportunities, consider making London your home. You'll be very happy you did. And bless the day you watch this video about 10 reasons to move to London. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe, comment, and turn on the notification bell.